It's unbelievable. This is the truck in front of us. It was loaded with sand. Just because it was carrying a little too much, the front axle deformed, causing it to twist its wheels and break down. Judging from the damage to the undercarriage, not only would it need a tow truck, but it definitely wouldn't be repaired for at least 10 days to 2 weeks. But a roadside mechanic used a jack to lift the frame. After inspecting it, he said it wasn't necessary, even though the front axle was severely deformed. The leaf springs were also broken. However, the mechanic said it was just a minor twist, not a big problem. The vehicle would be back to normal before dark, not interfering with the driver's work. Unexpectedly, after a dazzling series of operations, the broken-down truck was indeed quickly repaired, looking brand new and ready to go back on the road. Seeing the final result was truly astonishing. After the mechanic brought an excavator to pull out the front axle and remove the tires, it was discovered that even the steering tie rod was bent into an arc shape. Clearly, such deformation, it needed to be fitted with the right equipment. Therefore, the mechanic first had to disassemble all the components, including the steering knuckles, leaving only the bare front axle. Then they loaded it onto a small trolley and took it back to the shop for repair. There was a pressure press waiting for them at the shop. Even though the tie rod was already bent into a very bent shape, the mechanic placed it on this press. This press is specifically for pressing various types of unruly tie rods. After 49 repeated straightening and reshaping operations, the steering tie rod instantly returned to its original straight state. After the straightening was completed, it was set aside. Then the next important step could be taken, the repair of the front axle. Although the deformation of the front axle was slight and not too serious, even a small deviation could affect the normal driving of the vehicle. Therefore, the mechanic's straightening and repair were even more meticulous. Repeated measurements with a level were needed to ensure consistent angles, so that the driver could drive with peace of mind. With their tacit cooperation and careful attention, the straightening was completed. After inspection, the front axle was. After restoring factory settings, the steering knuckle and tie rod can now be reinstalled. Despite the limited environment and equipment, the mechanics at Baishuan worked efficiently without wasting time, quickly completing the assembly. The surface shows no signs of deformation. It's placed on a small vehicle, awaiting completion. Only the final piece, the leaf spring, remains. This is much simpler. The mechanic simply discards the broken portion of the leaf spring and replaces it with a new one, reassembling it with the intact leaf spring to form a single unit. With assembly complete, everything is ready and installation begins. The leaf spring is secured to the frame. After attaching it to the other side, the repaired front axle is also delivered. For the experienced mechanics, installing these parts, seemingly simple, is actually quite easy. It's just a matter of disassembling and reassembling. Because the parts were repaired so thoroughly, essentially restoring the factory settings, the mechanics installed them very efficiently even if they were doing it blindfolded. There were virtually no mistakes. With the skilled technicians working efficiently, all the parts were assembled and secured, and both tires were installed. The broken-down truck was then repaired. The driver can now continue on the road.